This is the Monoprice HR-5C, and this is the Monoprice HR-5. Closed back, open back. These are 64 ohm headphones. They have detachable cables, and they come in at a fairly reasonable price. Picked up this one for about $50 new. Picked up this one new, closeout, for about $30. So these headphones are pretty cheap, and they offer some interesting things for that price point. However, the build quality isn't great, but the sound quality is okay. So let's dig into these headphones and see what you get, and ultimately, if they're worth it. Okay, so both of these headphones come with quite a bit of stuff, and that's what makes them kind of maybe a compelling package, even though they're not a super well-built headphone. So what do they come with? They come with a pretty nice nylon carrying case with a nice thick piece of foam in there. They come with two really nice sets of pads, one cloth velour set of pads, and then the ones that come on the headphones are kind of a nice pleather memory foam pad, which is pretty cushy, pretty comfortable pads. Then they also come with this really big cable, and you know, it's not a terrible cable, it's just so long that makes it a little unwieldy for desk use. What I do like about it is, if I can get this thing untangled here, and you can see kind of the problems with it as we doing this. So it's probably like a 10-foot cable. I didn't measure it exactly, but what I do like about it is it comes with, geez, I can't even get this thing untangled. It terminates at both ends in 3.5 millimeter jacks. The end that will go into your source is a 3.5 with a screw-on 1/4-inch adapter, which is pretty standard here. I like that it came with 3.5 millimeter jacks to plug into the ear cups, because that means that this cable can be replaced fairly easily. Matter of fact, my Hi-Fi Min Sundara cable fits perfectly in these headphones. So these headphones, they plug in, you know, they've got a pretty nice click when you plug them in, and then there's your headphone. Let's look at kind of the build of this headphone here. It is all plastic, although it looks kind of like a brushed aluminum on the back here. And the cups are not really supposed to swivel, at least horizontally, but you can see there's quite a bit of play there, and that's really where my main issue with these headphones are, and I'll explain that here in a moment. All plastic, very cheap feeling. However, very comfortable. Like I said, those pads are very nice and squishy. They get a nice seal on your head. I did prefer the pleather pads on these headphones, although the velour pads feel really nice too. So they're both very comfortable. The headband has kind of that same pleather on the top, and on the bottom it's got more of a, I don't know, a cloth material, but again, very comfy, very well padded, no problems there. It does have a metal band underneath the plastic here for adjustment, and it has kind of a nice clicky system here. I didn't have any problem with that staying in place. My issue with these headphones is right here, this play, and look at how wobbly this is right here. And hear that one clicking? Okay, so this is where the main issue with these headphones are, because they are such a plasticky, cheap build. This is actually my second set of the HR-5C, the closed version of it. My first one did break, and they broke right here at this point where the cup is jointed to the band, which is just a plastic mount in there with a screw in it. And so the inside mount did break off on my first headphone, and unfortunately I'd say this second set is probably well on their way to doing the same thing. So that is the main drawback to these headphones, is definitely the build quality. However, comfort wise, they're very big, very large, but they are very comfortable and fairly lightweight, to be honest with you too. So I had really no problems in the comfort department there. I could wear these headphones for a long period of time without my head feeling, sweaty or too hot or getting any hot spots on my head. So I would say that they are a nice comfy headphone. Now let's talk sound with these headphones. Before I talk about sound though, let me show you the open back version of the headphone. So the open back is very, very similar. There really isn't any difference as far as the build goes. It's the same cheap plastic. This one has a gloss gray to it, whereas the closed back version has more of a matte black plastic. But really very similar build qualities in each of them. And before we talk about the sound too, let's take a look at one of my favorite features of this headphone. So not only do they come with really nice pads, the pad changing system is pretty cool. So you can see that you can just kind of twist off the pads, and the pads themselves are mounted onto a plastic ring here. And you can just swap that plastic ring out into one of the other pads, and then they'll just twist right back on. So again, sticking with just the, identifying how similar these headphones are, let me take off each of the pads here, and you can see that inside of these headphones, they are the exact same driver on the inside of them. And then let me switch over here to another shot of the outside of them with the back cups removed, and you can see that again they are exactly the same drivers inside. So really the only difference between the open back and the closed back version is the back ear cups. And you can see here in this shot that on the inside of the closed back version there's kind of a white thick felt that provides the dampening in there, and then the open back version has just an open kind of mesh that you can see right through. It's really more of a dust filter than anything. So when it comes down to it, the sound of these headphones and the performance of them are exactly the same. What is kind of cool with this is that means if you get the closed back version, you can take the back cup off and you can turn it into an open back headphone. So really, if you're going to get one or the other, I would probably get the cheapest one, honestly. The sound doesn't change that much, open or closed. But if you could get the closed one, that would add a little bit of versatility to it. But let's go ahead and let's get into the sound of these headphones. And this is where I'm a little conflicted with these headphones, because I do feel like they are a pretty good sounding headphone. They're not, super impressive in any one area. If they excel at anything, I would say that they do present vocals in a very natural and intimate way. So they are pretty intimate headphone. They don't have a very big sound stage. And the sound stage is pretty much just right to left. There isn't a lot of depth with these headphones. So I wouldn't recommend them for gaming or anything like that, but for the music that I really am enjoying listening to right now, which is mainly acoustic folk music, I think they sound really, really good. They are a fairly flat response, and what that kind of means is that they don't have a lot of bass. What's there is pretty well detailed, I would say, and it extends pretty well both on the low end and the high end. But if you're a bass head, or if you're coming from a bass heavy headphone, I think you're probably going to find this one lacking a bit in that regard. They do take EQ okay though, so if you want to boost the bass a little bit, I found that I was able to do that and not lose very much detail with them. But for the type of music that I listen to, I found that as long as I listened to these headphones for a little bit, my ears would kind of attune to the lower levels of bass, and I found them perfectly pleasant to listen to. As far as open versus closed, I found that when they were closed, they were a little smaller sounding. I felt like they didn't sound quite as natural, but things were a little bit tighter in the same regard. So bass was a little bit tighter, and maybe had just a little bit more punch to it. whereas once you open them up, the sound got a little bit bigger, but I thought things loosened up a little bit too, so I felt like I lost a little bit of definition, but I felt like they did sound more natural once they were open. So my preference with these headphones is the open back, to use them open back with the pleather pads. I thought was the best overall sound signature for me. That might be different for you. So this is kind of a weird headphone in that I do feel like it's a pretty good package overall. I feel like it's comfortable. I feel like it sounds pretty good, at least for, you know, acoustic folk music. I feel like it's pretty well defined, pretty clear, pretty natural sounding. It comes with, I'd say, some of the best pads that I've tried on a headphone, to be perfectly honest with you. Definitely the best pads I've tried on anything under $100. These far exceed many of the headphones you see back there, which are the other closed back headphones that are around or under $100 that I've been trying. These are by far the best. And that's pretty cool because it's also a very common size of ear pad, which means if you can pick up a set of these cheap enough, not only will you get a decent sounding set of headphones that's pretty comfortable, but you'll also get a couple of nice sets of pads that you can then swap out on other headphones if you're trying other headphones out. All that being said, the build quality does leave a lot to be desired, and like I said, I had to return one set of these headphones. I'm going to return my other set of closed back headphones because, again, I think they're, you know, just days away from breaking, and I haven't had them that long. However, because I was able to pick up the open back version for $30, and I did that mainly just to kind of compare to see if there was any differences, and because I wanted those two sets of pads that I could try on different headphones. So again, that's the situation that made me buy these headphones to keep for myself. I'm not sure if they're going to be for everybody. Certainly if they're going to be your only set of headphones, you're going to have to baby them. They really need to stay at a desk. I don't think they're going to survive long if you're out moving them around in the world, or if you're hard on headphones, they're just not going to last. However, if you listen at your desk, you like to listen to acoustic music, you want, you know, a big, cushy, comfortable headphone that sounds pretty natural, and soundstage isn't all that important to you, they might be worth picking up, especially if you could get them for about $30. I think that price you can pretty well justify, and considering the pads themselves would be $10 a piece if you bought them separate. So at $60, which is kind of their default price on Monoprice, I don't think I'd recommend them at that price. But if you could pick them up for $30, they might be worth looking at them. It might be worth giving them a shot. Monoprice does have a pretty good return policy, so you know, if you get them, you don't like them, or if you feel like they're just too cheap for you, you know, send them back and they probably give you a full refund. With that being said, thank you for watching this review. I hope you found it helpful. Feel free to leave feedback or comments or questions in the description below if there's something you felt like I missed or something that you think would improve a review like this in the future. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in hearing more about headphones specifically. I've got a whole bunch of closed back headphones back there that I am trying out to see which ones I like the best or I think are the best value for under $100. So I'm going to leave you with a sound demo of these, which I'm going to record through binaural mics. And in this video, I'll do a comparison between open and closed versions of these headphones so you can hear if there's any difference there for you. And I'm also going to link right here to a bunch of sound demos I did of pretty much all the headphones that are back there, so you can kind of compare the different closed back headphones that I've been trying out. You need to wear headphones to listen to these sound demos, and you know, they're not perfect, but they should give you an idea of the different sound signatures of headphones. So again, they're not meant to be perfectly accurate or to tell you exactly how these headphones sound. At the same time, hopefully they can show you the differences between one or the other. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video and let the demo play. Thank you for tuning in. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Catch you next time.
Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall. Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall. Don't feel alone in this world. The best is yet to come. Why focus on those bad times? This daylight is precious. See yourself as number one. Hold on to hope and never let him go. Your star is shining bright. There's something you should know. We rise and we fall.
I know I tried to make her mine, but at the same time, I know love is hard to find. I know I tried to make her mine, but at the same time, I know love is hard to find. I know I tried to make her mine, but at the same time, I know love is hard to find.
Baby, shine through and come and save me. I've been missing Lady Luck ever since she started hating. I've been waking up too early. I miss our crazy hazes in the middle of the night. Watch the stars from different places. And the phases we call love won't ever start to change. But do you ever wake up feeling like everything is strange? We should buy a one-way ticket and board onto a plane and fly it straight into a black hole somewhere. Baby, shine through and come and save me. I've been missing Lady Luck ever since she started hating. I've been waking up too early. I miss our crazy hazes in the middle of the night. Watch the stars from different places. And the phases we call love won't ever start to change. But do you ever wake up feeling like everything is strange? We should buy a one-way ticket and board onto a plane and fly it straight into a black hole somewhere. Baby, shine through and come and save me. I've been missing Lady Luck ever since she started hating. I've been waking up too early. I miss our crazy hazes in the middle of the night. Watch the stars from different places. And the phases we call love won't ever start to change. But do you ever wake up feeling like everything is strange? We should buy a one-way ticket and board onto a plane and fly it straight into a black hole somewhere.
I love how it feels. Killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights. Trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment, we're alive. Infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing
time. I love how it feels. Killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights. Trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive. Infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time. It feels. Killing time, you and I. Hours, minutes, days and nights. Trading all of our deadlines for conversations over wine. Killing time, you and I. In this moment we're alive. Infatuated with your eyes and the way they look at mine when we're killing time.
Take a sip, you gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. Coat your throat like hot honey. You gon' need water, then want some more of me. In your head, you gon' slip. I love on you, and then I leave you lonely. You want to get to know me. I'd agree in exchange for your soul, please, baby. Take a sip, you gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. Coat your throat like hot honey. You gon' need water, then want some more of me. In your head, you gon' slip. I love on you, and then I leave you lonely. You want to get to know me. I'd agree in exchange for your soul, please, baby. Take a sip, you gon' trip. I'm like a cup of shroom tea in the morning. like honey. You gon' need water, then want some more of me. In your head, you gon' slip, 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 slip. I love on you, and then I leave you lonely. You want to get to know me. I'd agree in exchange for your soul, please, baby.